Alright, so this was actually, it's kind of a complicated piece. This, just figuring out this curve probably took me about an hour just to figure out like where it goes. So basically, I don't know if you can see it up there. Let me see on the camera. Now, we have a mark here. Alright, so this is where this corner is. That's where the other panel stops. It's a 90 off the other panel. And then these are some reference points for the curve, where the curve falls. These are 90s. I found the 90 off of the interior panel, 90 degrees. That's why I had to use multiple pieces of metal and the level and everything. So this should, if we line this up, this is our inside corner, and we line these up where they hit like that right there, that should be our panel. All right. Now we're not trying to find this curve because we know the curve. What we're trying to find is where in the world the seat bracket goes. All right, but in order to find that, we got to know this side. So let's cut this side. Once we cut this side, then we can transfer it backwards to the other side. If you're going to be building anything, a race car, hot rods, probably, I don't know about motorcycles, but you're going to be pretty much building anything that's got flat sheet, you need to go ahead and order you some poster boards. You can get this stuff off Amazon for not expensive at all. Like, really good deals. Okay, so, all right, does that make sense with y'all? That's where our curve is at. Now, let's flippity flop it. This is also saving our template. So if we mess this piece of sheet metal up, we now have that inside curve, like exactly the top piece. This is going to be built in two pieces, so it can't be built all in one piece like I originally wanted. So now this is the curve of our seat bracket. Look at that. It's the curve of our seat bracket, and then this will go across, sit on top of our seat bracket. And that will do something that I don't know yet. That just needs to be cut straight across. I think this actually really pushed my brain waves this morning. All right, so that's that. That's the bottom of our seat pan, I think. I think it's really close to the bottom, but let's see here. All right, so this is actually below the seat pan, which was what we want. We want some extra hanging down. So let's just draw us a line here to this point, and then we're not going to worry about that angle because that angle is not a right angle. Like, it's literally not a right angle, and we're going to actually make us a right angle. All right, so this should be our little first filler piece of our tub, the inside. This should weld to the seat pan, and then it's going to do something in here to step over to the lower half. But this should be our first half of our arch that welds to the seat pan, and then this is going to get cut or something. This is going to go backwards. Eventually, this will get cut out for the rear axle. Should get something like this for the rear axle. But one piece at a time. Let's get this cut so we could probably maybe tack it in. Let's get that cut. So here is our very first inner piece, and then we just have to build everything over to it. That has to be one of the most complicated pieces. I don't know. I better watch my mouth though, because that lower could really be a doozy. Not 100% sure how to dip around this seat bracket piece right here, because the bolt has to be in there. I think what I would do is now come straight up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure now I'd just come straight up, and then that basically slides in. It will slide into here, to right here, and then more will get cut out the backside and we continue on. It's easier for me to just show you probably than to explain it, but hopefully that makes sense. That's basically our wheel arch. Again, it's gonna get cut right here, so I understand that that don't look like it's perfect. And it's a little funky because that panel is in, but that's what it would look like with a piece of metal basically rolled around it. So even this piece right here doesn't look bad at all. It'd be like that. So man, once we get this thing floating, then it's just a matter of boxing. But dude, going backwards, oh my god, I think it's easier to do this side than backwards, because I don't know, it's gonna be rough. But once I get the plane of this side, then I can clamp straight edges to go backwards and get the wheel out of here, and I can sit underneath there and work a lot of that from the inside, because I already have the upper arch basically, kind of, sort of. I don't know, it's not going to be easy at all. All right, so we're going to move this piece over to the other side before we move forward. And we've took the time to set up all of our clecos so that this passenger side can go right back to where it was. But we want to go ahead and see if our sides are symmetrical, which is going to be hard with the rear end there. Should be close. Let's see here. This is what's frustrating with working this stuff with this rear end in here. Alright, let's see. Because if our sides are symmetrical, then we know we can use our same template, and then the second side is going to go way faster than the first side. And I've made a mark right there where it's level across. So our pillars are definitely not symmetrical at the seat point, which is not a big deal. Let's see here. Oops. Once. Oh my goodness gracious. Just put a magnet like that. Oh, actually, well, I guess we could check our heights. If it kills in. All right, so it's pretty close up there, but that, let's see here, definitely not 100% right. Go ahead and duplicate this piece before we get it in there. You basically don't want to put that in, start welding on it, and then have all these pieces, and then you can't really test. You can use your cardboard template, but metal is definitely easier to test fit than a piece of flimsy cardboard. So I think we're good to make it, and we'll just have to trim it to fit. It's going to be really close. So let's go cut some metal. Let's get that line cut, which actually there's no way to see what's straight up and down with that. So we actually have to put that back in on this side, and our axle's in the way again. Goodness gracious. We need to cut something out of this too while it's on the bench so that we can stop moving our axle. Clearance. We'll go ahead and see what we need to cut. So again, the Clecos, they are the lifesaver. We don't have to line nothing up on this side. As long as they go right back in the hole, we know that's set right. There's 2 Clecos at the top, setting our in and out. We know this hits our point right here. Our axle. Yes, Harper. I'm working. All right, so. You got animal crackers left over. Yeah. So we're gonna come roughly off the frame rail. Because just to clear the axle, and we don't even need. Because remember, our floor comes in here, so we're cutting way down here. Floor's still coming over here, and our floor's coming way up here. So we technically don't need none of this, but we don't know where we need yet. All right, so one thing that I did discover was I think our pieces might honestly be extremely symmetrical. This is the other piece that we saved. So this is for that side we were trying to match up to. And when you lay this over top of this one, and you line up the bottom first, okay, and you get this curve right, and you put these 2 pieces, you might want to check this stuff, and you should check your stuff too, anything you're working on, before we go cut it all to pieces. So when we match our curve up, look at that, this piece is longer, meaning I was trying to reference this point right here, all right, but the driver's side is actually set back, you know, like a good inch or so. You can see right there, it's set back like a good inch or so. So by the time you account for that, I bet you this piece is going to be the exact same if you account for that. Why is that covered? Because that's the welder. We want to protect it from all the dust. Look, she's figured out she can wear earphones out here, and the loud cutting noises doesn't bother her. So I think we're going to be the same, but we're going to go ahead and mark these pieces. I got to draw the motor lines. That way we don't lose anything. All right, so this lower piece, we've transferred our other piece of metal. This is the top section, basically, it's left over. Transferred it to cardboard because, again, we need to just make a template. It's gonna be way too complicated. And we can recut these templates 100 times out of paper, scissors, versus having to cut metal. I welded the little flange piece that we just stretched, or actually, did we shrink it? Yeah, we shrinked it. Just welded that to the other piece inside there. That way, we now have a way to attach it to the seat mount. You'll see that here in a second. And I know I don't need all this, but I just want to cut it out the exact way it is on metal. That way there's no confusion. If the cardboard ain't got it, if it ain't there on the cardboard, it ain't gonna be there on the metal. One thing I learned very fast on this build versus the Comet is that you're going to be playing with a lot of magnets. A lot of magnets. A lot of times. And clamps and everything else. So, this is how we come up with that step. So, we need to step that over like that. Now we're going to build that all out of one piece. Now that I have a template, basically, I can go break that out of one piece. And I wish I had that whole piece down there, but I don't. I think we should be able to drop this straight down, it looks like, though, all the way to wherever it hits and then go straight over. So it shouldn't be too complicated. We probably honestly need to go ahead and put another piece of cardboard down there and extend that so we can get this thing in one piece. But dude, we got magnets stuck every freaking where. We got straight edges to find this curve right here, to find that, and to bring that over to this. We've got levels this way to make sure that things level up and right, up and down like this, because you can't hit a 90 off of this because this is curved in. We've got this right here so that that shows a 90 like that down here, so that will build a 90. I mean, we got these pieces every freaking where. So now it's starting to make sense. Let's cut one more piece of cardboard if we can do this without moving anything. We got magnets on the inside of there holding the cardboard in place. I mean, you need to order yourself some freaking magnets if you're gonna be doing this. That really needs to be, that's gotta be sucked up tight. But let's see if we can get this all out of one piece right here. And if we can get that out of one piece, then all we have to do is lay cardboard over the top of this, trace it, cut that out, and man, that's literally basically our whole entire piece. We'll probably, I was gonna say we put a flange on the inside to spot weld to that, but I think this one's gonna be so complicated that we're just gonna weld the corners. This would be a good area for me to learn how to TIG in, but I still don't know how to learn to TIG. I still have not learned to TIG. Let me build that last piece out of cardboard. Here's how you find that edge over there in here. I'm just gonna squarely in there. And let's see here. So we're gonna go from that to that. I think we'll pretty much have to freehand it. We might have something up there on the table. Oh, actually, I guess we could just about put it behind there and trace it, honestly. So this is where it helps to have your cardboard and your metal identical. We cut that little triangle because that's how our metal is cut. We're trying to find the curve from this triangle to there. So if we come over here to our bench, look at that. We have the same piece right here. Here's our little cardboard triangle. Here's our bottom half that we're trying to find the curvature of, which is basically, I'm gonna try to match that top up a little bit. Split the difference between what I got in there and what I want. Roughly like that. And that's gonna be our curve. Let's see here. Another magnet, imagine that. So that matches. Check that out. That's gonna be our curve. Let's cut that with scissors. Cut that, let's test fit it. How freaking cool is that we just built that tub with that tub stepped in. The top part's the easiest, and then coming over that way is the easiest. So we'll be welding this piece to this pan so that this pan is removable to still be able to work in here. That's our goal, basically. But there's our two pieces. So I've noted down here to add a 3/4 flange. Let's see here, we've already got the line. So yeah, we just need to add a flange that we can bend this way so we can spot weld that down like that. Let's see here, actually that's not going to work. Well, maybe it will. We could test fit our seat in, I guess. As they say, our seat belt bolt is right there. I think this thing needs to be even more complicated than that. I think we really need to, let's tape that and test fit our seat. And being able to just test fit them, because if we don't have to cut that and make this complicated, we're not. Technically, we could probably cut the seat. Have Troy cut the seat. Let's see here. Where's our brackets? Looks like we're gonna be good. We just have to move that seat belt hole. Yeah, look at that. Wow. All right, that's amazing. Look at that. I got much room. Okay, so we're gonna keep it just like this because that is tons of room. You'll be able to bolt the seatbelt in back here under this corner, basically, and then wrap the strap up right there versus it being over there. I think now it's the retractable kind. I could still probably maybe fit that box in there somehow. Do we got room under here? We got a little bit of room. We could maybe fit that box right there and still keep the retractable kind. We can test all that with just self-tapping, screwing the points down when we get all the metal put in. But we definitely have tons of room where there's no reason to overcomplicate this and drop it back and all that crap, and that'll give our tire more equal room. So now let's get this out and make this piece. Alright, so this should be our piece, should be spot welds, bends, flange. Should be our piece. Let's see how that fits. Okay, we got to notch that. I forgot about that. Let's notch that bottom corner. Corner notched out. Lucky. That is pretty good, dude. We need to put a bend in it, maybe the same way as that. I don't know. I about hate doing that. Let's see here. Out right off of there. About something like that. Maybe. I don't know if I should do that. That's where I wish that this piece was straight and didn't have that bend in it, but that was from us copying that other piece. But man, dude, that is... Oh, I'm tired. That's awesome. That is a stepped inner wheel tub, which is pretty gangster, I'm gonna say myself. The thing that's gonna be left to do is, see how this is running uphill? We've got to find where this planes all together. So we've got to take some out of this point. Probably need to try to get a level over here. Yeah, figure out where. It's kind of complicated, but we need to take some out of that point. Got to take some out of that point until it matches this plane. All right, so I think that's it, y'all. I did put some bends in that, so that piece gets pretty complex. But I got enough of, the gap it sucks, but I can make all that up. So I can run beads all around the inside and make every bit of that up. Spot weld it from outside, spot weld that, spot weld to that. And we're golden. This piece in here, oh man, she's gonna be something. But that one's not too bad. Really could use 2 people, but I need to get the wheel off. I'm not too worried about it right now because once the wheel's off, we can lay cardboard. Well, no, I guess the wheel don't have to come off. I just cut one that wide, and then I gotta somehow hold it up. Trace it like this, trace it around all of this one, and then that would be that cap. Saturday, we should be able to make that inner. I'll probably go ahead and get this inner tacked in maybe. We should be able to make that inner on that side. And then by Sunday, I would hope to have both of these capped and the side panels cut where it kind of looks complete, but it can also be removed. Now, one thing I did not think of that I just realized. So I guess this side's gonna have to get a patch. That side probably not. This floor structure, if we look right here, this floor structure is going all the way over to the tub, and the tub is cut way up there. So we're gonna have a gap right here. We're gonna have a little patch that we're gonna have to put in there. No big deal. End of the day, it will get all covered up with seam sealer and paint, but it sucks that I cut that up so high. I don't even know why I cut that high, honestly. I really have no earthly idea. Oh, you know what? That on that side was cut that high because we had the 2x4 hanging up, and that was the notch to clear the 2x4 sticking out and not freaking spot welded all up. I went ahead and spot welded that one 100% on there, but it's not that bad. We'll remake this. We'll remake this enter one more time. But we'll hold off and we'll go ahead and find exactly where the floor goes over to it, and we will remake it, and then we'll just remake us one of them pieces. So that's no big deal on that. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about this thing. So I'm trying to, this is our other panel, and then this is the new panel that goes up over the axle into the trunk. This line right here is actually back all the way to our trunk, but we got to actually cut more out of this. So I'm just piecing some cardboard together. I had attached this cardboard to our metal in the vehicle. Now I'm just laying scrap over this to try to get to my cutouts, but I have lines underneath this that I can't get to. So what I've done is just took scissors and just cut it like that. All right, so you can see where this was our original metal panel here, and we attached cardboard to it. Now we're trying to make a cardboard template so that we can transfer this all to metal. I don't want to go through here and cut with a cutoff wheel the metal and then use the metal as a template. I just want to transfer it. So when you can't see your lines, just cut the cardboard out of the way. Dude, I've seen so many people struggle with this part, and just cut the cardboard out of the way. Watch this, it doesn't matter. Look, now we can see our line right here. So now what we'll do is we'll take our cardboard like that. Look at that. Now our cardboard is back whole. Looky, looky. All right, and then we need this little piece right here. Look at that. Actually, it needs to be longer. Let's cut it off right here. Look at that. Boom, baby. Don't overcomplicate it, man. All you're doing is just piecing cardboard together. So you don't have to make your template out of one piece of cardboard. You can make it out of multiples. And all the, sounds like Harper's mad in there. All the magnet is for just to stick the cardboard to the metal so that it doesn't move. See that? Look at that. Pretty cool, ain't it? Okay. So now we have one piece, our new template. It's still taped down. So what we can do is we'll just pull it off of the metal, flip it over. There we go. So there's our new template. I mean, we know that we need to add 3/4 right here. Well, no, we could just build that piece by hand again. So that was our piece that we had. This will be our new piece, like that. So we're cutting all of this area out right here and moving our piece all the way up to here, and then we'll just be putting that 90 on just that section right there. All right, so there's our new piece. To make sure this thing goes back exactly where it was at, we're gonna line these tops up, and we're just gonna re-drill our 1/8 inch hole for our cleco through it. And this is what we end up with. So we gotta build the 90 to go on the back side of here, but that's it. That's how it is. Goes all the way across. It doesn't look right because you're like, what about all that? But like, that's literally wide open. That's the C channel. That's the C channel for the axle, man, and then it just drops straight down back there. As you can see, floor structure, just like we did in all of the other floor structures down here where we put these pieces in. This gets the same thing. There's gonna be a gas tank up here, so it's gotta hold some weight. Now, yes, this has to get spaced up, the thickness of the rubber bushings. No, I won't forget that. This will get pulled in, and it's designed to come up just a little bit so we can weld to it. We actually could have, I didn't even think about that. We could have left that all the way down to the actual height of the C channel so that it was welded all the way around and not just across the top. But that'll be fine. It doesn't really matter. The floor breaks. The floor comes straight across like that. The floor comes straight across like that. And then we'll have a break up and then get welded. So basically just be sitting on top of it. Could have also left. No, we couldn't broke that. We don't have a finger brake. So we'll have to, when we break that top piece of floor, we'll be putting a 90 on that side, 90 on that side, and then the front and back will get basically capped